we were involved with a development project down in Norfolk, Virginia, on a piece of property. Now imagine a trailer park, but instead of being spread out horizontal surface, that it's on a vertical surface, and it's the trailers are stacked. Well, that was our project essentially. Not to equate it to a trailer park, but it was right on Granby Street in the historic district of downtown Norfolk. If you're familiar with Norfolk, there's the scope. Gives you a reference of where that was. As I said, I referred to it as a trailer park because the property that we were developing on was 18.5 feet wide and 141 feet long. And our intent was to put a 9-story, initially it was 11-story high-rise on it. We took it down to 9 stories eventually. Now, I got a geotechnical report from our engineer. It said you need 80-foot pilings on for your foundation. And I was like, great, that was an expense we weren't aware of. We found out after researching, the historian researched in 1682 our property was waterfront property and everything was infilled. This is a map in 1899. You can sort of see the where the infill has taken place, the density has started growing, the streets are much more developed. And this is a picture of in 1868 of Granby Street, and again, waterfront property. We just didn't expect that, but a lot of the buildings down there do have deep piles. We tried to study the historic nature of where Granby Street was. This is right at the turn of the century, how active Granby Street was. In the 80s, it really went to a dead spot in Norfolk. Now it's a bustling and very lively area. Granby Theater is right across the street from our site, and it's a nightclub, very active. This is just a typical Friday, Saturday night on Granby Street. We had to work with the City Council and the Planning Commission. And, they were really, really tough to work with. But we were able to win them over. And I hope nobody out there is from There's a disclaimer at the end. The project started in a bar on Granby Street, and there was 4 of us, 4 young designers. We pulled out a napkin and a pen and just started sketching of what we thought this project, where we wanted this project to go. And a lot of architects start off with a napkin and a pen, and that's where a lot of designs come from. We did a lot of case studies. We found that in Japan, 18-foot wide skyscraper is not, or high-rise I should say, is not out of the norm. We did find one in Norfolk that was 20 feet wide. One of the things we studied, we wanted to familiarize ourselves with the patterns of brick, stone, masonry in the area, and incorporate some of that into the project and have our project integrate with everything else that was going on in downtown Norfolk, especially in the historic area. We did a series of streetscape renderings. The bottom one shows the 11-story concept that we had, and that's why we took it down to a 9-story. We just felt it was overpowering with the buildings around us. We looked at using sky cranes to erect this, but with my military background, we tried to think outside of the box a little bit and looked at possibly doing prefab units and having them helicoptered in, because we were so limited on space on the site. We didn't have any staging area. This way we would have a satellite staging area. The pod would be dropped and then brought here. And when I say vertical trailer park, it's a high-end trailer park. And you have a balcony, you have basic living areas. I mean, think about the spaces in your own home, and what's the largest space you have in your home? Some people 20 feet, 24 feet. These are the concepts of what we came up with for that unit. 18 feet wide in my own home. I think my family room is 13 feet wide. Very comfortable. And this is the initial concept of what we tried to do and how it fits on Granby. This was the 11-story high-rise concept. Again, we felt like it was a bit overpowering. And incidentally, we had about half of these units contracted and people ready to move in. We looked at the back of the building and we said, well, that's very clean lines. It works well with the surrounding architecture. And so we really looked at taking that and turning it into the front of the building. One way I did win over the Planning Commission is through our green roof. And it wasn't merely a green roof, but it was also a rooftop garden, functional space that the tenants could go to and a destination for the tenants of the building. And Portfolio magazine dubbed it the Skinny, and that just sort of took. In fact, we were looking at changing the name of that. So, thank you.